Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have something different to announce. In my channel you will be able to find interviews and podcast series with interesting guests to discuss multiple topics. As everyone knows, NCSoft is the developer for both Lineage 2 and Throne and Liberty. Many people call it even Lineage 3 due to past events and similarities in the game. We are here to discuss potential worldwide release date of Throne and Liberty and whether will this officially mean an end to Lineage 2. I have invited a special guest for an interview, as he has been an L2 Java developer in the private sector for many years, and considering that Lineage 2 is mainly now populated in private servers, it would be good to hear what experience he had and what he thinks about Throne and Liberty and how will this affect Lineage 2 community. Welcome, Orientus. Thank you for joining us today. To kick things off, could you share a bit about your background and how you got started into L2J development?
Well, I started very long time ago. I was a player as well. I think I started in C3, if I'm not wrong. And from that moment, I was playing in some official servers. After that, when I saw that everything was super hard, impossible to play, I tried to play in a private servers. And when I joined it, I saw that it was a disaster. And after that I said, okay, why I cannot do this? Because I think I can do it better. So I started to make my own server slowly. I was developing servers years I spent time in the beginning, to start it. So from C3 to Interlude, I was just developing, I was just learning how to code it by myself. I was looking in forums, in range zone, in that was very long forums, very old forums. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
I have a question because you're talking that there are things that were not good on the official Lineage 2 servers. Like by not having good things, what are you referring? There was which kind of problems were on official that were fixed by having a private server?
everything was super hard, super pay to win, extremely pay to win. So it was actually impossible to play it. So because of that, I decided, to try it a little more relaxed mode. And at that time, everybody were playing only super hard code.
So sorry to interrupt you again. So because this is an NCSoft game, I mean Lineage 2 is an NCSoft game, and now we are having Throne and Liberty that's been released in Korea, and it won't be long until we're gonna have it released for the Western community. Most of people are afraid of game becoming a pay to win, and as we can already see, there are some aspects of the game that are pretty much copy paste from Lineage 2. I'm not even talking about gameplay, I'm talking about monetization, like battle passes, like special packs that you can buy in game. These are the stuff I'm sure I mean, from your experience, you've seen this in pretty much for how many years have been this happening? You're talking since C4, C5, so practically that's been like 15 years now.
yes, it's something like that. But every game that it's unofficial is designed to be extremely pay to win. So what do you expect? To play an official game to play for free? You won't be able to find something, something that it's super friendly with the community. Nobody will gonna take care about what people want. They care about, about the money, everything. Yes. If I will gonna make something, official way, probably I'm gonna have an economic with a very well economic designer, to make it super good in a way that to be, pay to win, but in another way to be like friendly way, you know, like okay, you want to play it, you want to enjoy it, but if you want to put some money, you know, to enjoy your time, you can do it, but not in this way that how it arrives right now, that if you don't pay it a week, you're out. It's like or you pay non-stop or you're out.
Well, I mean, knowing all this and like that you know the game, it really confirms my choice of having you as a guest today. And like I wanna shift the things towards Throne and Liberty and worldwide release. I mean, the rumors are that it might even happen in February 2024 if we would take previous game releases and updates by NCSoft in Korea. Between the Chronicles and like new games that release in Korea, it's been like 3 to 6 months if I'm not wrong, and the February would make sense. I mean, it's much different now because Amazon is a publisher, and Amazon is already announcing publishing of Blue Protocol in the same time. There's no exact date, so my question is, from your experience, when do you think that Throne and Liberty might land? As it takes development. They took some time since 2011. The game evolved a million times, and now they have a product that got fixed recently. Actually, they changed the combat mode. They changed also that there's no auto farm, there's no offline farm. These features, if I'm not wrong, I also seen in multiple Chronicles, like L2, like the Essence, also the Goddess of Destruction implemented this. So what is your opinion? Where do you think like Throne and Liberty will be possibly released, and how will this affect Lineage 2?
Well, you know, I'm not Amazon to answer you exactly when, but my estimation, yes, it's on the spring, according to their announcements. And they, you know, right now, because of AI, because of all of these super tools that it helps you to evolve super fast, things become more easier. You understand? I mean, a good developer, if he is helped with some tools, he gonna be like on a piano, you know. He gonna make, you know, something very, very nice, super nice. I mean, it's not hard at all to do.
No. Like I mean, Throne and Liberty is already a complete game when it comes to. I mean, it already got released in Korea, so we are the only let's say obstacle is the adjusting it to Western community, which means they need a monetization only and in-game voiceover. But I believe that the voiceover was also done because you can already play the game in English with the subtitle in-game. That's how most of the guys are playing it, and it's a public secret that there's so many international clans and guilds and communities already present in Korean servers. So my actual question is, I know that you're not Amazon, of course, but like your obstacle from your experience, like from researching a market, like what do you look at first? I mean, what do you think monetization would be acceptable for Western community right now? If you release a Throne and Liberty, and in your case, you have your project opening pretty much today is the time we're gonna be editing this video. It's gonna be the day you're gonna be opening the server. When we look on the trailers from Lineage 2 itself, because I know that this is a subject of Throne and Liberty worldwide release and everything, but as I mentioned, 3 to 6 months is between the Chronicle updates or game releases, and I'm guessing, as you also are assuming, that they might open in spring, that the earliest date is the February. If they manage to, if they manage to combine all the monetization issues that they bumped into, and if they manage to fix like all of the issues that might occur while transferring, because Amazon in this case is a publisher and developer for New World, and they had huge problems with the game because they did not really solve the issues that they had. For example, they had gold duping that they did not solve instantly. It kind of destroyed the economy. They lost a lot of players there. But the biggest concern, and why I'm comparing it to a New World, is because they had huge queue times. Like sometimes you could wait for 8 hours before you could log in, and the issue was you log in and you get some weird critical error and you're back in the queue of 6 to 8 hours on like really populated servers. I mean, this could easily happen with Throne and Liberty. So even with the Korean release, they've been opening servers one by one after this was even during the pre-registration when you could register the account and create a character. I did an actual video about this, and what was your experience with populated servers, like when they open? I know you guys were opening different proxies to reduce lags for players, but they will open. They will open, of course, regional type servers. They will open the ones for Europe, the ones for Australia, the one open like for South America, for the USA and etc. So they will not have that problem, but they will have problem with capacity on server. Like the maximum capacity is 7,000 players, but of course, if they would allow 7,000 players to connect instantly, I'm sure that the server would crash.
Of course, I mean, this is the maximum capacity, yes, for everybody to log slowly, you know, not like boom, everybody. But when you say maximum capacity for a server, it's like what a server can hold, not to have a nice gameplay. You know, a nice gameplay, from my perspective of view, is like maximum 1,500 people. This is the maximum capacity from my perspective of view to have a gameplay, to have a content, what to do, to not fight for like everything, to not like fight for like everything, you know, to be able. But you know, this is a marketing to announce all of us like look, we can handle like 7,000 people per server.
Yeah, it's like those fake numbers on a lot of private server projects where it says, I'm not gonna name them, but they say that they have 12,000 players online, and we know the server of Lineage 2
Not true.
It cannot hold more than 5,000, and this is 5,000 capacity. And as you mentioned, like 1.5k players is what's bearable. Everything above real 1.5k players is causing an issue. So and we remember in the past how many issues we had, like with soul shot lags or disconnects or different type lags during mass PvPs and stuff. I mean, Lineage 2 is the only game that handled so far like really massive big sieges, but there is a good point in Throne Liberty. I've seen big fights and there was no actual lags. It was fights something like 100 versus 100, not more. So it reminds a lot on Lineage 2.
Well, Throne of Liberty is like a copy of Lineage. This is my perspective of view. Like many of you are gonna say this. If you start to compare the weapons, some zones, you know, they are just, it's like a remaster. It's like Lineage 3. This is my point of view. You guys can, you know, you can say whatever you want, but this is what I see by myself. And are playing Interlude. You understand?
Right now what you're talking about is, I fully understand it, because the Chronicles, if we would divide now Lineage 2 by players, you would, how many? We would have maybe like 3 different type of Chronicles of Lineage 2, like 3 different types of Lineage 2, and one of them, which majority people plays, is Interlude. And then we have, I believe, Essence, because it has auto farm. And
yes,
to some people this auto farm might sound scary, but for a Lineage 2 community, most of people are around age 30 to 55 practically, and these people are going to work and they don't have time to PvE. And when I say PvE, Lineage 2 has like a really stiff boning auto practically mode farming, because you just stand on one same spot and you kill 5,000 monsters. This is for the people that do not play or haven't played Lineage 2, so you guys understand. It's not creative type of farming. It's literally the game forces you to stand on one spot for 8 hours a day, not once, twice, but like even sometimes for 2 weeks. So the auto farm is the only solution for this game to survive, from my perspective, unless you're playing Interlude or you're playing Lineage Classic. And then,
do you know why auto farm was created?
well, most of you guys as developers would say it's because you wanted to counter bots. One of those. I mean, I understand it, but if Lineage 2 really wanted to prevent this, it would prevent botting. There was no problem.
Yes, exactly. Because most of the games, there exist bots on it. People are searching a way to make their progress more easy, more comfortable. Okay, so officially servers, they saw this, and from my perspective, okay, they introduced something that is close to this, okay, close to this botting, adapt to this generation that we are, because we don't have anymore that time like how we had in past. Everything is super fast, and for this region to hold you over there, they offer you a possibility to auto farm. Of course, in game things starting to drop less and less, to hold you much more online. And this is the reason that's why starting to pop up those auto systems. That's why, look, for example, we introduced in our classic the offline farm, some time ago. I was thinking about this, when there was the COVID, because of the electricity bills, starting to grow up. I was thinking about like, let's do something that is interesting to let people, when they go to sleep, to find a way to play, but in the same time to not pay their electricity. So I'm gonna help them. I don't want to say that I'm the creator of this, but the idea, the beginning of the idea, I believe so that I was in the first line that I was thinking about this.
The official had this, and I believe you're talking about offline farm. They called it, on Goddess of Destruction, they called it training zone. So you would buy a ticket and you would go in there, and it would start hitting a dummy for like 8 hours, and it would just disconnect after the ticket would expire. But what I've seen most of you guys did on private servers is that you made it that it auto farms outside on open field, which is a bit of a double-edged sword, because you could get still killed if you are in those zones.
Or so, because of this, everything got extended. For example, with a Telegram bot, with a Discord bot, with the external notification for you to let you know about what is your game progress.
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed as well. You would get notified if your character died, or if you got even attacked. The problem is, of course, if it's at 4 a.m. most of people are sleeping, but it's still useful, because no matter
some of them are waking up,
I was one of those guys that wakes up and gets a notification, or some of my constant party members call me on the phone, or they log in the toon, change the location, and they continue farming. So I fully understand. So listen, we did a conversation when it comes about Throne and Liberty. We spoke a little bit about your project. I would like to shift the subject towards your project, because we have time until Throne and Liberty opens in the Western region, and anybody who is interested in playing Throne and Liberty in Korea, I have seen how to do it in my previous videos with VPN and with unfortunately, finding a Korean friend is not that easy. So most of the guys are just buying accounts. It's that thing that I spoke about. It's an elephant in the room that everybody's avoiding. And yes, and I will give my perspective on this. Why they're not getting banned is because I've seen this with my own eyes and felt it on my own skin, sort of speaking, is when I played official server, there were obvious bots that they do not ban for like a month and a half, and then these bots earn so much money that they can buy 10 times of the investment, and then they get banned. So technically they were banning people, but it took way too long and it messed up the economy. So I just want to switch now and talk a bit more about your project. So if you can tell us more about your project, like which chronicle it will be, when is the opening, and maybe if you have a roadmap, I mean, for the guys to know what to expect if they join your server.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna open SRs. The version, the patch of it, like this is it. It is Astrakhan Temple, call it as people know DK Update 2. And the roadmap of the opening, it is 5 of January, and the roadmap of it we post it on Discord on every week. What people will find out in our server, like stage system is this.
So by progress. So you're talking about
by progress. Exactly, it is by progress. Yes.
But how many weeks ahead we can know? Like, do we know like 1 week ahead or 3 weeks ahead? Like
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
So 4 weeks ahead. That's great. That's great.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So I will manage to post every 4 weeks ahead, so people will gonna know everything what is gonna be in every week, and they will know as well 4 weeks ahead.
And that's great. Well, I know from my perspective and from my personal experience, I've been playing since 2004, and I've been on a lot of private servers. There is a rumor, which I believe is not a rumor, because from multiple, let's say, sources, it was confirmed that there is a person that is requesting payments not to DDoS private projects. Like that, there's even a pricing system for like an interlude is like a 500 euros for like bigger projects. I even heard numbers like 5,000 euros for some huge projects. Because is it possible that there's so much money involved in these private servers? I mean, I can imagine how much money it is on official, since private servers are having such numbers.
Well, exists this, yes, but it's not my business, this one. And this is their business, and they know what to do, man. They really know what they are doing over there. So you need to deal with it. Like it's impossible to. I'm not able to mention any amount of what's going on over there. But
well,
this is their business. Is like
yes.
My business is like to open a server. Their business is to do this. So
yeah, well, like most of the people will see from that. That's my question. The first question to the guys that told me about this issue and the problem, because I have a lot of friends in Lineage 2 communities, and more guys that been opening private servers. I always ask them, like, don't you have an anti-DDoS system? And one of the guys told me, after the name of the person which is DDoSing was mentioned to actual companies that were supposed to protect you, that they were supposed to let's say help you and have an anti-DDoS program working, they said, bro, if these guys are DDoSing you, just pay them, because it's gonna cost you more the DDoS payment then it's gonna cost you to pay him, and plus we cannot guarantee that it will work entirely, that you will be protected fully.
Yes, Splicho. Everything you said, it's it's true, but there are some words like you need to be friendly with the people, so it's impossible for you to protect. I mean, doesn't exist somewhere a best protection. It's impossible to exist.
Yeah, I understand how DDoS mainly works, and I understand that there's no a guarantee for 100% protection. There's no such a thing as 100% protection against DDoS. And I know that most servers have like a basic type of protection, and that protection is also because of bot programs like Adrenaline or Z-Ranger or L2 Tower and all those programs that most people were using in previous Chronicles, scripting and all that. But what amazes me is that Lineage 2 is 20 plus years old game, and it still does have official servers, but the majority, the most of people are actually in private servers. And if I'm not wrong, you have the stats of like people who visit your website. You can see that it's mostly Latino and Russian communities that are still playing Lineage 2.
Yes, because as I told you, it's a classic game, and it will never end, because this game become part of you. For example, for me, it's a part of me. That's why I return back to Lineage. It's part of me, and that's why I like it. What I'm doing over here, I do with passion. I do it with love, man. I really love it, what I'm doing over here. So whoever is playing, ever played Lineage, he will ever return to play it again. The only let's say sad part, it is because of the game is upgrading so hard, so in a way that it doesn't keep so much the Lineage how it was. It's not like
it lost the core of the game. I understand.
Exactly. It lost the core of the game. Exactly the perfect words you select. So this is the problem. So what we are doing right now, we are trying to remastering. We are listening to people. We offer to people what people really want. Some of us, who have a big project, they are also smart, and they are doing in a way that, it's a devil smile. It's a devil smile. Let's say like this.
It would be good for you to tell us something about your server that will actually not be just another cash grab server. So people would join your server and they would stay. You mentioned stages, and what about like that pay to win model? Like, what can people actually buy in your server?
Right now I'm building a community. I'm trying to build a community to find out people who really wants to stay to play. Understand? So once I'm gonna have that real community, to have minimum 1,200 people, that to be stable, then I'll be able to have eternal server.
Yeah,
because
that's true. But what you need to adopt, what you need to understand, is that the outcome of most of the servers is, how to say it, like after 2 weeks, like most people just take time to play hardcore for maximum 2 weeks. After that, they expect that their character is built up already, and they just show up for prime times. When I say prime times, I speak about raid bosses like epics or daily spawn raid bosses, sieges, territory wars, depending on which chronicle it is. But what like my suggestion is to you, for when you do continue with your project, when you do the stuff, a lot of the guys were making like welcoming bonuses for the new players, and this was effective to a point. sometimes it was so bad that the people even were re-rolling because the benefits were too strong. Like, it's super difficult, and I understand it's super difficult to balance it out.
Yes, spiritual. Let me tell you something. It's impossible. One guy, 2-3 guys, okay, who are trying to make a small group to open a private server to compete with an official server that they have a company with economic department which they calculate everything to make it proper. It's impossible, to do something like this.
I understand you on this part, because that's not even a question. Like, 4game.eu, it's Innova. They have the rights to publish Lineage 2 in Russia and in Europe. And the economical part that you speak about was so super hard, and it hit also the Innova and the Europe one, that this is like the first time in history that I remember that it wasn't merged but actually shut down. They shut down Skelt, official L2 Classic server from Innova. They shut it down, and they did not offer any like compensation except some garbage items for L2 Essence. And the first version of L2 Essence was so pay to win that you could not drop in-game currency if you do not donate. It was like a next level hardcore wallet casino, and it still is. So what I need to say to out loud to everybody to understand, official servers are garbage. And why I say this is because they are. You either gonna go there and experience a fully automated game with almost no activity, except for a couple of dungeons like it is in Goddess of Destruction, and there's tons of RMT, and the only thing that keeps the game unofficial alive is RMT, because right now I know a person that is playing on NC West servers, the old Jiran Classic server. He's running 150 clients in the same time, yes, using Asivin and Adrenaline on 2 PCs, 2 computers. And imagine if he's running 200 almost clients, 150 to 200 clients running, and he's just doing it because of RMT. And he's just one guy. There's for sure multiple more people that are doing this. It is his business. Yes. But
there are still players in official split. There are still
they
are not
it's whales. It's just whales and casuals that do not intend of being competitive. And Lineage 2 was always a competitive PvP oriented game. It was never about, hey, look, I did this raid boss within 5 minutes, you did it within 6. Nobody gave any mind about that. Nobody cared about that. But when you saying I went with 2 parties and we won against 3 parties plus the raid boss, that's a different story. So that's why I say that official servers are dead. They're dead in opinion of an hardcore old type players of Lineage 2. Official servers are dead because they do not offer such nostalgic type of game anymore.
This is the reason why private server pops up, because private server pops up from players, man. Players starting to create private servers. You understand?
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
They saw that the game is so lame, and they try to make it, much more friendly way. This is the reason. That's why the project that I become private server. Sorry, this is the reason why it become private servers.
I fully agree on this, because I know many clan leaders that ended up having a server. Even I myself was offered multiple times to just be a part of a project and assist in development and setting up how the files and the rates and everything supposed to look like. So I fully understand you. Well, not to hold you anymore, because we as 2 guys that been playing this game for way too long, we could probably talk until the 2025. So you heard it, guys. If you're up for some nostalgia in Lineage 2, put 5th January in the calendar, and pretty much that's gonna be the day that I'm gonna be publishing this video. So I'll add additional links and details about Morientes' project. He's not doing it alone. If I'm not wrong, it's
I'm not doing alone. I'm doing
more
with
people.
Yes, I'm doing with some other guys. And everything is clear, everything is okay. I'm not again with the same team that let's say some people know about my previous team. As I told you in the beginning, we found our path, and now everything is super nice, super good. I am super optimistic about that. Very soon I'm gonna be in the first line with the projects. That what do you see around, because what I do have right now, what it is exactly the most beautiful server that you can find out, and that's it.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk about this very special subject that nobody pretty much covered up. Good luck with your project. I'll also drop in and probably stream a day or two to show people the project and help you out grow it. If you have anything else to add for the community and for the guys, now would be the time.
Well, don't be server jumpers. Try not to be a server jumper.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Right.
I'm gonna stick to the part where you said, please stop server jumping. And that's the only thing that can save Lineage 2 is to get there on a couple of good servers, couple of good projects, and I believe Morientes is definitely having a nice project. And as a person that's been for practically 2 decades in Lineage 2, I'm sure that he has his own tricks that he didn't share with us yet, and hopefully in some new interview and podcast that we're gonna do. Thanks once again.
Thanks. See ya.